Welcome to Study CIMA Online presentation on CIMA Enterprise Strategy Syllabus Introduction. Here you will learn about what are the topics involved in the syllabus, starting from interacting with the competitive environment, which is having a 20% of syllabus weighting, evaluation of strategic options, which is having a 30% of syllabus weighting, and implementation of strategic plans, 30% of syllabus weighting. Finally, you have change management, which is accounting for 20% of your syllabus. So why are we having this map separated into two different sides? If you can see here in the right hand side, there are three major topics that have separated into one lot and change management into the other side. This is because it helps you in your study. If you have identified separately what are the topics that you can tackle, you will be able to study more efficiently, so that you can see that there is a continuous connection between interacting with this competitive environment, evaluation of strategic options, and implementation of strategic plans. So as you can see, this subject is a gradual growth from enterprise operations to enterprise management to enterprise strategy, so that it gives you a huge advantage when it comes to studies. A lot of knowledge that is coming from the previous levels are carried forward into this level also. What is the difference? You will be going through each of these topics in a little more greater depth of interacting with the competitive environment. So for example, I will show you the topics that are involved in this area of interacting with the competitive environment. So here you can see what are the topics that you are going to see. Stakeholder management. You remember what you studied about stakeholder management from your earlier level. It was about the Mandela's matrix, how to treat different type of stakeholders depending on their power and interest. And at this level, we will go into more greater detail about the stakeholder management also. And then you will study about the external environment of business. I think you remember you have studied about different ways of analyzing the external environment of business. Coming down to competitive forces, you remember that there are different models that you are going to use in order to study about the competitiveness about an industry, so that you can find out what are the competitive forces and how much strong they are in order to allow you to go to your strategic objectives or to prevent you from going there. And it's a very important area to study about relationships with the suppliers and customers. You will see how you are going to interact with different suppliers and customers, the modern techniques and modern management philosophies related to this. Impact of our information systems. This is like very good area, I believe, because if you know about the information systems, it's very easy to tackle these questions, especially in the enterprise strategy as well as performance strategy syllabuses. You will notice that corporate social responsibility is very practical as well as a very relevant area together with ethics. The ethics topic is very easy to handle, especially because most of the ethics questions in CIMA syllabus are directly coming from the CIMA Code of Ethics. So here you got a snapshot about the interaction with the competitive environment. From there we will move on to the evaluation of strategic options. So you can see that the overall flow of this syllabus is almost as similar to what you have studied in the topic called the rational planning model. Because in the rational planning model, you went through a logical flow of interacting with the competitive environment as well as the internal environment, identifying different strategic alternatives and implementing those alternatives. So here you will notice at the evaluation of strategic options, there are topics such as process of strategy formulation. So starting from the rational planning model, you will evolve into different other models that are contemporarily used in the business planning. And then roles and responsibilities of directors, especially with regard to strategic planning and strategic developments. Strategic planning models, as I told you, you will notice different models that are being used. Several of them you have studied already, but what you do here is you are going to see them in a greater depth, how they are going to affect the businesses. Strategy evaluation, you will have to evaluate the strategies in terms of qualitative and quantitative methods, and you will move on to identifying different tools that you are using in order to plan your strategies. Evaluate the organizational structures in terms of whether they are fit to the strategies that you are going to introduce. The value chain, supply chain and value systems, you will remember the Michael Porter's value chain that you learned in your previous level, and you are going to go into a greater depth in that one together with supply chains and value systems. And finally, about the corporate governance. There is a set of frameworks related to corporate governance which you go into greater depth in the subject of performance strategy. However, in the enterprise strategy, you will have to know about the corporate governance and how it affects the implementation of the strategies in your next level, next topic area, as well as how it will affect the selection or evaluation of strategic options in order to be selected to be implemented. Let's move on to the next area, which is implementation of strategic plans. You can see when you are implementing, it is very important to control the strategies and the strategic measures in the business. So from there, you will look at measuring of performance at business unit level. It is a very important area because whether you have implemented the strategies correctly or not can be found using the performance evaluation. However, remember that it's not only the appropriateness or the accuracy of implementation, but also the changes in external business environment is affecting the performance that is derived from the strategies implemented. So as a strategist, your role will be to stay alert about any changes that are taking place in the external business environment and incorporate them into a strategy formulation cycle. Lean manufacturing is a management concept, especially coming from the Japanese management philosophy, which has gained a huge place in the Western management also right now. So therefore, you will have a separate section which is going into what are the different types of wastage identified in the lean manufacturing systems and how are you going to adopt this management philosophy into your everyday business management. And if you are looking at information systems, that is also another important area because information systems are governing several of the businesses in today's world. Even the most simple business models that you can see are using the information systems, and it scales up all the way up to the largest and most complicated businesses that are being operated. And the problems with performance management models. Above, you saw that performance measurement and performance measurement at business unit is a very important topic. So that some of the models that we are using are having its inherent problems, which we want to explore and find out what are the solutions to overcome those weaknesses of different performance measurement models. And then we will move on to the next area, which is change management, bearing 20% of your syllabus content. So in change management, it's very important for you to remember what you have learned in the previous levels and also go into greater detail about different approaches that you can take into change management. And you will compare and contrast continuous and discontinuous changes that are taking place. So that is where you will remember you learned about the gradual changes versus transformational changes. And there are different roles of change management to be played in strategy implementation because every strategy calls for change. Every time you are implementing a strategy, you will have to change something in the organization. So sometimes it's not tolerated by different parties. You have to manage such changes, especially the organizational culture, the way things are done in an organization. The change management techniques that you are using, it is related to how you are going to manage your change within the organization. What are the kind of philosophies brought up by different researchers, different academics about managing the change, and then you are moving on to role of leadership in managing the change. So here you are going to find out how the leaders of business are going to identify different ways of managing the resistance against change. And finally, you are going to study about evaluation of ethical issues related to organizational change. So here I gave you a very quick introduction about the syllabus that you are going to study about in CIMA Enterprise Strategy. We are going to go into greater detail about each of these areas. And every time you want to take a bird's eye view or otherwise an overall view about the syllabus, please take a look at this presentation so that you will again and again refresh your overall knowledge. So the whole module is organized in a way that it is connected from one topic to the other so that you will find it very easy to see it in a connected way, and you will be able to revise again and again looking at these videos. Please leave a comment below, and also please visit our website. We are available on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as Twitter. So just take a look at these websites as well and follow our blog which will help you quite a lot in the process of preparing for the exams. Thank you.